You thought that Naruto was the strongest, you thought that Sasuke was untouchable. What if I told you that neither of them, not even the Sage of Six Paths himself, holds a candle to the power of Boruto Uzumaki as he stands right now in Two Blue Vortex? In today's newest Naruto Explained video, we're going to explain why Boruto has officially surpassed every shinobi in the history of the Naruto world and even some of the gods in the universe. And we're not just talking theory here, we're breaking down feats, jutsu, scaling, and everything else you need to know about Boruto Uzumaki, the strongest ninja of all time. 3 years, that's all it took, under the harsh guidance of two of the most formidable warriors in the history of the Naruto world. Sasuke Uchiha, formerly the strongest Uchiha in the history of the clan, and Kashin Koji, the cyborg clone of Jiraiya. Boruto evolved from a prodigy with potential into an unstoppable force. In less than a year, he mastered every single jutsu Sasuke could teach him, everything that did not require a Sharingan. He adopted Sasuke's sword style and he made it his own. He added to it. And that, my friends, was just the beginning. The real game changer was his training with Kashin Koji. Using the technique called the 10 Directions, Koji allowed Boruto to learn jutsu from alternate versions of himself across multiple other timelines, one of which spent 6 years as a rogue ninja training to master the flying Raijin. Boruto, well, he did that in months. Let's be clear, Boruto, he has surpassed gods. Boruto scaling versus Jigen and the Otsutsuki clan is what we have to look at here. So let's put this into perspective. Jigen, the vessel of Ishiki Otsutsuki, is a monster who defeated Naruto and Sasuke in 5 combined blows while holding back after he went into his version 2 of his karma state. Naruto went down in 3 hits and Sasuke was left near death after 2 hits. And yet Boruto easily dodged Code, someone who scales above Jigen. When Code launched his first strike in Two Blue Vortex, Boruto didn't flinch, even after Code tapped into his karma seal, which carries Ishiki's essence, allows Code to tap into Ishiki's chakra, though not use things like the Kokugan. Boruto, he stood unfazed and he blocked it effortlessly. And then there's the Rasengan Uzumaki, with what is to be considered the weakest variation of this jutsu. Boruto launched Code across the Hidden Leaf Village, despite Code being someone who scales above the Jigen who defeated Naruto and Sasuke. That's not power, that's just divine force. And it really makes you wonder what in the world was Boruto eating during the time skip, because that nutrition plan had to be absolutely something on 10. As a pair of rogue ninjas, they didn't have time all day to sit there and cook. They needed something quick and fast and easy like Cook Unity. This video is going to be brought to you by Cook Unity, the chef-powered marketplace that delivers restaurant-quality meals directly to your doorstep. If you're a longtime viewer of the channel, you know that I personally use Cook Unity for years now. Cook Unity has a variety of options to choose from at a very affordable price. It doesn't matter if you're on keto or vegan or low sodium or a high-protein diet. Cook Unity has hundreds of delicious meals for you to choose from by award-winning chefs. Best of all, it's super simple to use to order, and if you're not pleased with the experience, it's very easy to cancel your plan or change your plan if your circumstances change. Then there's the occasional unexpected guest showing up like my buddy Howard, which thanks to Cook Unity, I had meals I could share with him while I worked on the Boruto review. I personally order from Chef Dustin Taylor and Ruben Garcia a lot, which Ruben Garcia's meals are the ones that I share with my buddy. The spicy chicken tenders are seasoned well and have a nice kick to them, as do the roasted potatoes. And I don't have to tell you, anytime you see somebody licking their fingers as they're eating some food, you know it's tasty. The other plate from Chef Garcia he ate was the avocado chicken tacos with black beans and pickled onion, which is one of my personal favorites as well. Part of why I love Cook Unity is that I take my body very seriously and I work out hard, which means I need my macros and micros to be on point, but given how busy I am, meals from Cook Unity save me a lot of time to work on more content and enjoy a diverse selection of global gourmet flavors from chefs across the country. Best of all, Cook Unity is affordable. The meals can be cheaper than groceries, especially if you live alone. You save time, money, and have a full tummy when you use Cook Unity. Use my link in the description box and the pinned comment to get 50% off your first order of chef-made meals delivered straight to your door using my promo code Naruto50. When I say Cook Unity meals are to die for, I don't say it lightly, because between the locally sourced produce and humanely raised meats free of antibiotics and hormones. It makes their hundreds of weekly meals by award-winning chefs worth trying out, which you can do using my link in the description and the pinned comment to try Cook Unity to get 50% off with your first order with my promo code Naruto50. Now let's take a deeper look by looking at the jutsu that Boruto already possessed as well as what he has mastered, because understanding this will explain why he is to be considered the deadliest shinobi alive. The Flying Raijin, a teleportation technique used by the 2nd and 4th Hokage. Boruto mastered it in under a year. He now moves faster than the eye can track, even by Sharingan standards. Boruto's Flying Raijin does come with its own drawbacks though. If he has too many markers in one area that are similar in shape, then he cannot accurately teleport to them, so he can't spam 100 kunai over the battlefield like Minato. He also has to concentrate for extended periods to use the jutsu, while he cannot mark objects or people instantaneously. Instead, the larger the object, it can take a very long time, or even for small objects, he needs up to a minute to mark, which a minute on the battlefield is a very long time. He also has mastery of wind release, water release, and lightning release. Since Sasuke stated that he taught Boruto every jutsu he knew, it can be assumed that Boruto also knows fire release and underwent change in chakra nature drill training to master fire release, though this is merely conjecture, though it is strongly implied based on Sasuke's words. Then you have the Rasengan Uzumaki, a cosmic level Rasengan if you will. Instead of raw impact, this version it warps momentum itself, arguably time itself. At near full power, it obliterated Hidari, a Shinju fusion of Tentel's chakra, Sasuke's chakra, Code's Karma Seal, which contains Ishiki's chakra, and Shibai Otsuki's cells, leaving nothing but a head and an arm. The only drawback is that Boruto, his feet have to be on the ground when gathering chakra from the planet directly, so he can't fly when using the jutsu. Then he has the base Rasengan. Even this basic jutsu in Boruto's hands was strong enough to counter Hidari, showcasing a terrifying base level strength. Then you have the wind release Rasen Shuriken, a variation that adds a slicing wind nature to the traditional Rasengan, amplifying its destructive force and range. However, as noted by Kakashi when he was training Boruto, this is a jutsu that does not have the most destructive power. The Vanish Rasengan is a jutsu that he invented at just 12 years old. It disappears in mid-air, reappearing at contact after it's made, making it nearly impossible to dodge. Even Momoshiki was caught off guard by it. However, like its wind release Rasengan, this jutsu, it does not contain the most destructive power. It is a criticism that Kakashi made when he saw Boruto use it. Then you have the compression Rasengan, a jutsu Boruto made underneath Kakashi's training in the anime. Boruto's able to take the massive amount of chakra used for a normal Rasengan and compress it down to a smaller size to dish out more damage, due to how increasing that level of chakra into a smaller fixed point has more destructive capacity due to all that chakra being so self-contained. Then you have Purple Lightning, which was originally created by Kakashi to overcome being able to use the Chidori, since he does not have the Sharingan Eye Insight to overcome the Chidori's tunnel vision. Boruto mastered this deadly lightning style technique and he integrated it into his arsenal, using it for high-speed strikes with his swords and cutting precision, very similar to how Sasuke would use Chidori when he would use his sword. Then he also has enhanced speed and reflexes. Boruto's shown speed blitzing Kawaki, someone who wielded Ishiki's Kokugan Eye. His speed allowed him to catch up and fly past Kawaki and Delta, despite both of them being desperate to reach Himawari because they heard Himawari was in trouble, and despite them having a massive head start, Boruto basically gapped them. Then when you get into the battle feats and the dominating of gods and demons, it gets even more clear. We'll have to talk first about Hidari. He is a monster composed of Sasuke's chakra. Granted, this is one-eyed Sasuke who only has EMS, but one-eyed EMS adult Sasuke is extremely powerful. If anyone's telling you otherwise, they're lying to you or they're gaslighting you. Then you have the Ten Tails itself. He is made up of that chakra. Then he's also made up from Code's Karma Seal, which has Ishiki's residual chakra in it. As Boruto says in chapter 6 of Two Blue Vortex, it is a power that is of the Otsutsuki clan, and he also has Shibai Otsutsuki's god cells because Code was in possession of them, and Hidari and all the other Shinju, they are able to use Code's claw mark jutsu. They cannot do that without having, obviously, the Shibai cells that Code possess. Shibai cells give a power buff. In short, Hidari is a Frankenstein monster of the Naruto versus greatest threats. Boruto not only stood toe-to-toe with him, he dominated him when he finally used his full power of base. Rasengan Uzuhiko being the climax of that, it nearly erased him from existence. Then there's Kawaki with a fully awakened Kokugan, far surpassing what we saw Jigen, Ishiki's previous host, be able to use. Since Ishiki never had a fully matured Kokugan eye, but Kawaki had one, Kawaki launched Chakra Rod so fast that they outpaced Sasuke's Sharingan and Rinnegan when you compare how Sasuke was struggling with just Jigen speed. Boruto, he dodged all of that effortlessly. One punch, it sent Kawaki flying. When Kawaki powered up with Karma, it was out of necessity, not necessarily confidence, and it should also be worth noting that while Kawaki himself does not have Ishiki's full attack power, he does have Ishiki's defensive power, and he has advanced regeneration because Amado amped up his defensive capabilities at the expense of his offensive power. So for Boruto to do that much damage with a punch despite Kawaki having Ishiki level of defense, that should start putting into perspective how strong a restraint-based Boruto is. Then you have to look at it from this perspective too. No Karma, no problem. Here's the kicker. All of these feats, they're done without using Momoshiki's Karma Seal. He's doing it without using Momoshiki's power. Boruto only gets Momoshiki's chakra added on top of his own when Boruto is using the true essence of Karma, which Boruto's never had to use yet. That means Boruto, on his own in base, he has surpassed Otsutsuki tier opponents while only using his own base power. No boost, no possession, just raw speed, strength, and his own technique. This means we have to start saying that there's a divine scale here, and why Boruto would absolutely make Hagoromo beg for mercy. Hagoromo Otsutsuki, the Sage of Six Paths, once said that a single Rinnegan Jubi Madara was nearing his level of power. He described Kaguya, his own mother, as being unmatched. But let's break down this chain, but I'm going to just point something out to you. When Naruto asked how strong Kaguya was, and if she was stronger than him, Hagoromo directly says that Mother was unrivaled by none other. He was referring to Kaguya in her prime, which means that he was also referring to himself in his prime. Three-Eyed Jubi Madara is weaker than Kaguya, who was revived, who is weaker than Kaguya after Zetsu says she powered up stronger than she had ever been before in volume 71, right before she was sealed away. That Kaguya is weaker than the fusion of Momoshiki and Kenshiki because she writes down by name in the Boruto manga that after eating the chakra fruit, there were, quote, a pair of invaders coming to this land, end quote, that she was afraid to fight without an army, according to the manga. That pair of invaders was Momoshiki and Kenshiki, and despite Momoshiki eating chakra pills that contained Killer Beast chakra, Naruto and Sasuke, they easily defeated fused Momoshiki. And this is after Sasuke has expended a enormous amount of chakra, by his own words, in Naruto chapter 708, or better known as the 8th chapter of Naruto Gaiden, the 7th Hokage in Scarlet Spring, where he says going into Otsutsuki dimensions requires an enormous amount of chakra. We have a quantifiable amount because Obito in volume 71 of Naruto directly scales it as requiring more than 1/3 of Six Paths Chakra Mode Naruto's power to be able to access Otsutsuki dimensions, because when he says this, Naruto only has 2 shadow clones that are made, which means that his chakra was split evenly between himself and the other 2 clones. Sasuke had to open up that much chakra in order to enter into the Otsutsuki dimension to save Naruto from Momoshiki, and Naruto had 50% of his chakra extracted. Despite this, they bullied fused Momoshiki, despite that fused Momoshiki being somebody that Kaguya was afraid of. Then when you look at with code without limiters. He's stronger than the Jigen who beat the brakes off of Naruto and Sasuke. This means that Boruto is stronger than Jigen because Boruto is stronger than Code, despite Code having his limiters removed. And this is just base Boruto. By transitive and extremely linear power scaling and direct feats, Boruto now stands above the entire hierarchy of gods, sages, reincarnated monsters, reincarnated chakra brothers like Naruto and Sasuke. In conclusion, Boruto is the strongest shinobi to have ever lived. Boruto is no longer walking in the shadows of legends. He is the new legend. He carries the legacy of the past, the technique of the present, and the divine power meant to protect the future. Without karma, without help, he has become a force that the world has never seen before. He's faster than the yellow Flash, though he is slower when it comes to using the flying Raijin, but he is stronger than the Sage of Six Paths. He is stronger than the boogeyman Otsutsuki vessel Jigen, and he is sharper, arguably, than any Uchiha we've ever seen before, because even Sasuke was blown away with how much of a prodigy that Boruto was. He is him, Boruto Uzumaki, the strongest shinobi in all of history. Obviously, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, clicking here on the left to check out more videos from Naruto Explained, click here up top for this video from my Everything One Piece Explained channel, or click here on the right for this video from my Anime Explained channel where I talk about non-Naruto content.